business people really like corporate jargon. And this is something that I noticed yesterday when I attended a fantastic business networking event. I have tagged the director, Abid Khan, of this particular group onto this video, so please send him a message if you'd like some further information about the Chatney and Chat Business Networking Forum. Now, I am a novice when it comes to the business world, but I like to think that I'm quite good at taking mental notes of the kind of words and language people use when they're making conversation. And going back to the idea of corporate jargon, I understand the importance of professionalism, and to some extent I agree that you do need to give off some kind of a corporate image in certain situations, but it's also important to remember that we are not machines and we need to sound human too. So in my rather short entrepreneurial journey so far, I have come across a lot of cliched, overused terms. I'm not saying that we should avoid them completely, I'm not saying that they're incorrect, but I'd like to talk about them a little bit today and maybe offer some alternatives, hopefully. So the first one is results orientated, and we see this a lot on CVs actually, that someone is very results orientated, or on LinkedIn profiles. Now, if you are results orientated, what this technically means is that you perform a task and then you expect it to produce some kind of a result. Now, by the basic law of physics, that's the whole point of it. So you're making quite an obvious point by saying you're results orientated. It's not really an effective point for yourself to make. So maybe try being a little bit more specific. You could say maybe something like, you are determined in achieving great results, determined in achieving fantastic results. So it sounds a little bit more refined, it's a little bit more clear, as opposed to just saying something really generalized and overused, like results orientated. The next one is one that I particularly am not a fan of, but again, I do understand why people say it. When they say things like, I like to deliver 110%. Now, obviously, it is impossible to do that, and of course I know that when people say that they like to deliver 110%, they realise that they're not actually meaning it literally. It's hyperbole, and by hyperbole I mean it's exaggerated. Now, my problem with this particular term isn't the fact that it's hyperbolic, it's more the fact that so many other people are saying it. And when you're using a term that so many other business people and professionals are using, it can kind of give the impression to your fellow business associates that maybe you haven't given enough time and consideration to your own individualities, to what makes you unique. So say something like, I suppose saying something like, I try my best is quite simple. If you're looking to make it sound a little bit more refined, then say I invest a significant amount of effort into, and then explain what it is you place that effort into. Again, make it relate to your job, to your profession. Last one, pre-planning, pre-preparing, which I can't even say properly because it's such a mouthful, pre-scheduling. Now, I'm sure we all know, obviously, that planning is something we do before a course of action. So saying something like pre-planning is unnecessary. It's a little bit silly, actually, because you're already stating what it is that you actually do before taking action. There is no need to say something like pre-planning. Now, if you would like to emphasize on timely planning, then say that you take great care in timeliness. It's a much better way of saying something like you like to pre-plan or pre-schedule, because chances are if you say that to someone, they won't really understand what you mean. So the whole point, guys, is I know it's difficult to avoid corporate jargon completely, but maybe try and decrease the number of times you use it on a day-to-day basis, or when you're pitching, when you're attending networking events, maybe. Also, when it comes to your written content, do bear in mind that by making your content full of fewer cliches, and by making it a little bit more specific to what it is that you actually do, that does not mean that you need to add an extra 250 words onto your blog. And if this is something you struggle with, then send me a message, give me a call. We'll take a look at your content together, and I will provide you with my honest feedback. Thank you for listening.